Welcome to WP Coffee Talk. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and especially to our espresso level sponsors, Helix Managed WordPress Hosting, for both their sponsorship and for hosting our site, and to Expander Digital for both their sponsorship and providing SEO services to us. Now enjoy the episode. Welcome to the next edition of WP Coffee Talk. I have a new friend. It's really fun because since I've been doing the podcast, I've been meeting more people all over, and people are recommending people to me. And Machielle, you are somebody that was recommended to me by one of your colleagues.
Wow.
Yes, and so reached out to you, and this is Machielle Thomas, and you're with Bluehost.
I am.
I know. I was looking through some thumb drives, USB thumb drives the other day, and I had one from one of the WordCamp US's looked like a little Lego.
Yeah.
The Lego ones, and it said Bluehost on the side, and I was like, I'm going to talk to her tomorrow. And I just was like that yesterday. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swag. I mean, swag is one of the really cool things about WordPress. I mean, other people's swag is the really cool thing about I know, like I have as much.
Yeah. After a while, you get too much.
Yeah. Well, then you start just look for the special stuff. Like you walk by a person's table and they're like, "Oh, I got pens." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I could like feed the world if I could sell these pens."
Same.
Totally get it. So yeah. It's a pleasure. And I did just see you a week and a half ago.
In Montreal, yeah.
We're both in Montreal. And where are you talking to me from today?
I am actually based out of Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
I took a little trek up to Montreal, but I'm back home now until tomorrow.
Just a teeny one.
Yeah.
And where are you headed next?
Minneapolis. So I'll be at work.
That's right.
Yep.
That camp's coming up this weekend. That's right. Yep. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I am Machielle Thomas. I am a content marketer, so I run our content program at Bluehost. I'm a photographer, so I shoot weddings and portraits and graduations, things like that. And I just like to read and write and do all the creative things that make me happy.
All the creative things.
Yeah,
I know.
all the things.
I think a lot of people in web are creative types. There are two types of us in web. The creative types and the truly analytical types. Yeah. And then there's a lot of crossover between them. But there's definitely some polarization.
I agree. I would agree.
And so it's a good niche to be in, really, because, especially with WordPress, because there's so much flexibility there.
There's literally never a dull moment, and you will never not have a job.
That's so true. It's so true. It's awesome. And it's really fun to watch people that I know that have been freelancing, like suddenly working for some of the big companies. And it gets exciting to see.
It is. I think it's a lot more stable for a lot of people, and people kind of like that flexibility of WordPress because you can work anywhere most of the time. So.
Yeah. And a lot of our companies definitely have headquarters places. Mm-hmm. And we have distributed companies or remote companies where we have a lot of remote workers.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. So show me your mug. What did you bring to show us today?
Okay. I am doing my 90s baby mug. Because 90s hip hop, it's all good, baby, baby.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's my favorite mug.
Well, it looks like it holds quite a bit.
It does. It's huge. It can literally fit, like, I'm drinking tea right now, and I think it has like 16 ounces almost in it. It's a huge one.
Which is why you have 2 tea bags in it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I also like the flavors mixed. So I drink like a blueberry green tea, and then I add a raspberry hibiscus tea. And so they're really good together, and then I just add lemon and honey. So it's my favorite. Basically,
you kind of have like a fruit salad tea right there.
That's a great way to look at it. I like all the things in every aspect of my life, so
let's just mix it all. I like that the inside is yellow too, because that's like
I love it. It's a pop of color. Yeah.
And where did you come by this mug? Did you buy it or was it a gift?
I bought it, and I actually found it. And so I just bought a house this year, and I was at the store looking for like kitchen stuff, and I happened to see it was only one of them. It was like at home, I think, the home store. And I just like grabbed it really fast and like sprinted to the counter. I was like, "Can you hold this for me? I just want to make sure nobody takes it."
I love it when you see there's one left and it's mine.
It's mine. I like looked around. I'm like, "Is anybody watching?"
like Like we have a little mug espionage going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
love it.
not actually a 90s baby, but I love music from the 90s, so it was really cool.
Oh, I graduated high school in the 80s, so I guess I'm an 80s kid. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to tell. Some people say it's when you're born, some people say it's when you grew up. I don't know.
I didn't listen to the music from when I was born because, my parents were running the radio then. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I was in the multicolor pop collar. Anyway, we can move on from the embarrassing decade of my life. I'll show you my mug. No, I need new mugs. Like if Bluehost has a mug, you guys should send me one. I'll use it on the show.
I'm gonna get you one. I'll
Because
get you one.
I'm recycling mugs now. So this is
Ooh,
my college mug.
wow. That's really cool.
It's from Roberts Wesleyan College. I graduated in 91 with a degree in religion and philosophy. So of
Wow.
course I'm working in web because
It makes sense.
in 1991 we didn't have World Wide Web the way we do now, and nobody knew what it was. So, but it's got a metal disc on it. So this
I
is
love that.
this is a do not microwave.
Oh, smart. Okay. I don't actually
So,
microwave this one just because I'm paranoid. So
yeah, I hear you.
yeah.
So, and you said your tea. I'm drinking tea as well. So
What are you
we're both-
drinking? What tea?
just plain old Salada or whatever. Yeah, Lipton tea. Just plain
Lipton,
old.
okay.
Yep, just plain old. I
Nice.
like it plain, no sugar, nothing like that. Just nice and plain.
Nice. Okay.
So tell us how you got started with WordPress.
Man, I started using WordPress probably like as a user. I'd say like 12 years ago or something like that, 11, 12 years ago, just from the content side, like when I was in college and building websites and kind of working freelance for different companies. I actually just started working like really in the space like 3 years ago, maybe 2015, 2016. And it's just really different on this side. And I didn't really know this side existed before, other than like a meetup here or there. But it's really just like a totally different world that I kind of did not know existed. And so it's really cool to be on the other side now. But I love WordPress, so I'm here for all of the WordPress talk.
I know. And ever since that meme with all the things came out, we do that all the time. Like all of this things and all of that things, and all the tea things.
All the tea.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So you've transitioned from being I don't know if you were a casual user, if you were like making a living with it, to actually working in
Yeah.
WordPress. You represent Bluehost and you do a lot with Bluehost now.
Yeah. So I think when I used it before, it was more like from managing blogs and kind of like the content behind it, but never really working with like, never on the dev side, which I still don't do. But I work I work with like a lot of our core developers and our team members like that. But no, it's definitely totally different. So yeah, it's been fun.
And people are always saying to me like, oh, you get to travel with your job. Like, well, yeah, but a lot of the travel I do is not like give related. It's just like, hey, Machielle wants to go to camp. So
Yeah.
I'll just go to a camp. And when I was with you in Montreal, we only had one table separating. So I was representing Weglot,
Yeah.
which is a multilingual plugin.
Yep. Heard of it.
Proudest was another hosting company that shall remain unnamed. And then Bluehost, there were 7 sponsors. Yeah. And 6 of you were hosting companies, and then there was me. And
that's actually very cool. I think that happened quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, for a day and a half, we were like commenting each other on Twitter, and we had never actually like faced each other and like shaking hands because we were so busy at our tables. And then I was speaking, and even at the after party, it was like, do they really exist? Because I haven't actually seen them yet. You're like, we didn't see you at the after party. I'm like, I didn't see you either.
And it wasn't that many people. I don't know how we missed each other like the whole time. I think you get caught up in conversations, and then next thing you know, it's like, I don't even know if I saw you at the speaker sponsor dinner.
Oh, I didn't get there in time.
Okay. I'm like, did I miss you there too? Jeez.
I missed everybody there because I arrived at 9:00 at night. I drove up from Rochester, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun, but.
Yeah.
When you think about websites, and I know you see a lot of websites. I'm sure people walk up to you at WordCamps and like they open their laptop and show you what they've built and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
What are some of the things you think that people need to focus on more to make their sites better and stronger?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, there's literally like, oh, I could go down a rabbit hole. I think I would say the top two things I would suggest people pay attention to are like the user experience. Like, can someone figure out how to navigate your site, how to get the information that they need from your site? And then also like, are you leading them somewhere? Like, is there a CTA, like a call to action, giving them something? So if you're selling a product, make it clear where they can buy it, make it clear on every page where they can get back to purchase. If you're showing them a portfolio, show them how to get back to your main portfolio outside of, just this one section that's maybe like your photography for weddings versus like portrait photography. And kind of like always lead people back where you need them to go, or where they might just instinctively want to go. So I think that's something I notice a lot, where I'm like, I have no idea what to do on your site or where to go. So if you can tell me, that would be great.
It's pretty, but what do I do when I get here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's definitely my top suggestion. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think you really hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, there's an old journalism term called burying the lead.
Yep.
And I think that we do something similar
Yep.
with having trouble finding a call to action. Even if your site is just a brochure site, contact page, that should be the call to action.
Absolutely.
And it should be easy to find. And I think menu order has a lot to do with that too.
Oh, so much to do with it. There's what I'm saying. It's literally a rabbit hole. There's so much stuff that could go wrong if you don't pay attention to the small things. And I think as people who are building sites, people think of it like, hey, I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm selling, but the end user doesn't. Like, they don't understand your product or your service yet. So help them understand.
When I was freelancing, my least favorite thing was somebody who wouldn't take any of the advice. So somebody who's like, I had one guy who was a sculptor. Why would he think he knows how to build a website? And that he is the expert on that. And so I would try to tell him we need to do this, that, or the other. And he's like, nope, I don't want to do it that way. I want it to look just like I want it to look. And then I'd say, well, let me see what I can do. And then the next day he'd be like, well, I talked to my buddies and they said, you're right. Thank God.
Oh gosh. I think that's actually my least favorite thing with photography too. Like, I won't even take a client on really if they don't trust my vision. Like, if you don't just trust me, then we're not going to work out, because if you give someone a list of exactly what to do, it'll never be good enough. You know what I mean? The product will never be good enough. And you won't ever get to shine. Like, you never got to really shine if he's saying, no, do it this way. And you're like, well, I could show you this other way that's really great. And they're not really allowing it. So yeah.
And I'm a photographer too, and I do events and that kind of thing. And I don't mind when they hand me a list that make sure that this group of people and this group of people.
Yeah.
Right? My least favorite thing is, well, you just gave me 100 photos. I know you must have taken 1,000. I want them all. No.
Not how it works.
You're not getting the raw photos.
Yeah,
you only get the edited good stuff, not 5 copies of the same exact post. So anyway.
And they don't really need it. I think it overwhelms them anyways.
Sure.
Because they have to decide, okay, which one do I print? This one's only minutely different than the other one. Like, how do I pick one? So
I like my style better in this one, but I like my it becomes crazy.
It's an endless cycle.
Like you said, the rabbit hole exists in so many areas.
I agree.
What's something that you wish you had known about WordPress when you started that you've learned since that might have made your life easier?
I don't know anything about, like, I don't think anything on the back end that I would have known would have made it easier, other than, like, I didn't really pay attention to the fact that, like, the support section on .org existed. I didn't really ever look into forums. I kind of just, like, went through that endless cycle of YouTube videos when I was first learning. And then also I would really, like, have to say the community, just because, like, I didn't know WordCamps were a thing back then. And I think it would have saved me a lot of struggle, like, in business in general. In all aspects of business, like the things I do now for work, and then the things I do, as part of, like, my own passions, projects and things like that. So I would say, like, those two things, like the actual meetups and community stuff, and then also, like, the support on .org that exists.
Yeah. And now with Bluehost, I know you guys must have support teams and things like that. Are you also recommending to people that they look for meetups and they look for WordCamps and things?
Yeah, we actually, like, geo-target people in certain areas, like, for camps. And we say, like, hey, there's a camp coming to your area. Also, you could find meetups. We send them to that page and kind of show them that it exists. We put it in our newsletters, and we try to like give that information out. I think, you know, people will still only open emails they want to open. When we're on the phones with people, we tell them, you know, there's a ton of support. We have a WordPress like live team. So it's called Blue Sky, but essentially they actually will walk you through helping, you know, build your site. But we also point them to .org all the time. There's so much support there.
It's amazing
Yeah.
community. And all that support is, for the most part, volunteers.
Yes.
And I don't think people are always aware of that every
No.
speaker is a volunteer, every organizer is a volunteer. And it's just a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it is. If you're not sponsored by a company, like somebody is really saying they care that much to help you. So I think that's a really cool thing to note for sure.
Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of the happiness bars.
Yeah. Those are good. I think a lot of times it gives people like that, like, hey, I just learned something in this talk and I don't really know how to implement it, or I don't really know, you know, what to do. Can you walk me through that? And then there's people there that actually can do it. That's literally the best experience. And the tickets are so cheap to camp. I really don't understand like why more people don't just go all the time.
No, I agree. It's like I probably 8 or 9 of them a year.
Yeah.
Just as a casual, you know, well, I speak at a lot of them, of course. I apply to them, but so one other funny note from Montreal, and I don't know if I told you this before, but I got done speaking, and then the next morning, like I said, there's like 6 hosting companies,
Yes.
and then just me, who's a plugin for like language translation.
Yeah.
And one of the fellows who had been in my talk came up to me and he said, "Now, can you explain to me staging and how staging works?" And I'm like,
no. Everybody else can. That's hilarious.
I mean, the funny thing is I answered his questions because of course I understand it.
No,
but I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe any of these like 20 people at these other tables might be a little more qualified to answer the questions.
I think that's cool though, that the point is like you still know how to use, you know, those types of things and what they mean. It's different for every company, right? But the concept is the same. So that's really funny.
It made me laugh, and I was thinking, well, maybe he doesn't want to be sold, or
no.
Hard sell, but who knows anyway.
That's actually true. Probably true.
It could be, who knows, but when you think over the different WordCamps you've been to, meetups you might have attended, things like that, is there like a pivotal moment for you? Like I always say, like the lights came on, or the angel sang, or that just like it really meant something to you. You met a person, or something, you heard something. And what was it?
Oh, I gotta pick one. Okay.
You can have 2.
There are 3, but I can do them really fast. So the first one, my actual first camp was at WordCamp Phoenix a few years ago, and in that moment, I think I kind of realized, like, wait, anybody can speak at these things? Like, anybody who has some kind of experience or expertise or something that can help another person. Like, I really thought that it was such a hard, like, a bigger barrier to entry. And I think in that moment, I was like, wait, I could do this. And I literally applied to speak at the next Phoenix and was accepted. And so that was really cool. Also, I think 2 of the moments are really community specific. So, Joe Simpson talked in Chicago last year for it was his first talk. And he talked about, I think it was called like 90 Days to Live, like finding my place in the community. And it was like all about this health scare that kind of made him realize I only want to do things I love from now on. And he kind of like fell into WordPress. And I thought that was a really cool story. And it kind of started our friendship. And I think it really like just kind of spoke to me about like how much the community and the actual product, the end product, like means to people, to their lives. Like the fact that you can travel anywhere and do whatever you want and make a living and be happy and have like work-life balance, like that's unheard of in a lot of industries. And I think also Raquel, she talks a lot. She ran WordCamp Phoenix quite a few times, but she has a talk about taking community from Twitter to IRL, like in real life. And so I thought that was, I really like that talk a lot, because it talks about like, yeah, we can all be like finger warriors and talk online about how much we love community, but actually like going out and doing it is what really matters. So I think both of those moments kind of made me realize like maybe take this experience a little bit more. I am sponsored to come to camps, you know, but at the same time, like I could actually make genuine friendships and I can actually like create lasting bonds and actually help people with things outside of even what I do in my day job. And so I think that's really cool. And those two moments kind of like sparked that for me.
That's awesome. I love that. And I love Raquel. She is amazing. I don't know Joe, but or yet. But she was a riot in Montreal as well. And she and
Yeah.
I are working on WordCamp US
Yeah.
and the organizing team. So
Yeah.
that was and Montreal was the first time that I actually was face to face with her.
Really?
So yeah.
She's one of my favorite people.
She's a hoot and a half, and yeah, she has more energy than a 2-year-old.
Yes.
I don't know where
Yes.
it's all from, but
I have a 2-year-old and I can attest.
I'm exhausted just watching that woman.
Yeah. She goes and goes and she means it. Like she WordPresses hard.
I need to get her a t-shirt that says I WordPress hard.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell her that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. We'll tweet it.
Yeah, do that.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Bluehost. And I know Bluehost is a hosting company.
Yeah.
I don't know all of the different levels and intricacies and like things that you really are proud of. So tell us a little bit about what you do there and what you're proud of.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of knows us as a hosting company, and I think part of our goal, I think over the next year or so, is really to kind of talk about all the different things that we do and like the way that we can empower you to start a business and grow a business. So outside of just we'll actually give you the server space to get online, but behind that comes like all of our really detailed onboarding in order to help you be successful. So I run like our content. So I manage our webinars, our blog, our community spotlights, our customer spotlights, all those different things, our books. Like we have a blueprint guide. I don't know if you've seen it at some point, but that we released earlier this year. That's kind of like the A to Z, how to get started to publish your first site, like what you really need to know, not all of the detailed words that you don't understand, but just the things that actually help you get online. So I'm really proud of that. Like, I think we have a few iterations of that we're going to do, just because there's so many different levels of people, and I really want to make sure that we're meeting people where they're at and whatever part of their journey they're at. And so I think we've had a really strong focus on like our product is now where we want it to be. Our service is spectacular at this point. And I think we just really want to help people be successful online and like learn to harness the power of the web, like all the things you can do on it. So that's what I'm really proud of. And I'm super pumped to be like part of it. And I actually like love my job. So it makes it really easy to work hard.
I think that's wonderful. And I know you're a lot younger than me. When you can find the job you love at a young age, oh my goodness, it's like you're set for life, a life of happiness. Right. I came into my job just a few years ago and it was like everything just changed for the better. Like my whole trajectory just went from like the inside of your mug. It was like it went to sunny all the time. I love it.
That's awesome. That's exactly how I feel. I wish that for everyone, So
absolutely.
I'm glad you have it.
Thank you.
Makes two of us.
Yeah, right. It's like I say this sometimes, but like my face hurts a lot from smiling so much. It's like you think after the workout these muscles would be used to it. I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh, my face is sore again.
Yeah, I feel like after
time,
it's good. I mean, I feel like that's exercise, so I'll take it.
Yeah, right? It's like this. I had to burn at least 10 calories in the morning today.
Exactly. Let's run it. Yeah, for sure.
My goodness. Now, maybe you could answer just a couple questions that I've had about host. Let me ask a couple questions about hosting. I've been with a couple different hosts over the course of the last 10 years. You try this host, try that host, whatever. Mm-hmm. A lot of hosts actually will also register domains at the same time. Do you register domains?
Yeah, so like with all of our hosting packages, you get free domain, free SSL, all that stuff. But yeah, we can do a lot of different things outside of hosting. We have professional services. We have different tiers of support that you can get. We also have a service that I really think is really cool. It's called Blue Flash, and it's literally like when you start, we're gonna give you like unlimited support and like walking you through building your site for free to try to actually help you publish. Because I think that's like really the goal. Because a lot of times people can buy hosting and buy a domain and then don't do anything with it, or they feel overwhelmed, especially when they're dropped into the WordPress dashboard. It can get overwhelming. So I think that service is really cool, but we offer a ton of different services. So yeah, domains are one of them.
That's awesome. Well, when I first started building, I bought a domain
Mm-hmm.
and I bought hosting, and I
Oh,
had no idea how to get the domain on the hosting because there was no such thing as one button and install yet. And
Yeah.
so I was like, I asked a friend, I'm like, can I, will you teach me how? He goes, yeah, but I said, no, I don't. I go, I got the domain, I got the host. He goes, what's the problem? I go, how do I put them together?
There's the code
So,
here that
yeah.
transfer. That's a good thing.
So it's like, I learned how to download WordPress, upload WordPress, change
Yeah.
salt keys, and change my WP config, and
Yeah.
understand. And I don't think a lot of people have no clue on how to do that anymore
Nope.
because the one button install is great. I use it all the time now.
Yeah.
But
Ours is automatic.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's automatic install. So it takes away one little step, right? Like the goal is to take out one step at a time.
Well, I've also used hosting companies that weren't specifically WordPress hosting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we allow you to use anything. I think WordPress is where we shine and it's where we, feel passion.
Well, I think I read today, actually I'm on the WordPress.org marketing team.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost at 35% of the internet with WordPress.
I think it was 34%, 33% last year. It's been going up steadily. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 34.7 or something this morning. And I was like, that's a huge market share. So if hosting companies aren't planning for WordPress, they're planning to fail.
Yeah, that's true. And especially like because the next largest market share is like 4%, I think. It's like it's a huge drop off. So yeah, it's really the place to be for the future, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Completely agree. That's awesome. So what's your favorite thing about your job?
Ooh, I actually really love meeting our customers. So like one of the things that I've been working on is like going out and meeting them and photographing them and learning their story and figuring out how to tell it. Because I think a lot of people, when they hear about someone else's success, they think it's more possible for them to be successful, especially when there's like a struggle in the story or like something that someone's overcome. And I think everyone has a story of overcoming something, right? So I think that's my favorite part is like really just going out and talking to people. When I go to camps, I try to meet people. We have customers there obviously all the time. But even like when we're in that city, trying to go and find like, oh, this restaurant is a customer, like, let's go and try to meet them or, whatever. Or planning to go and meet them. I think that's like my favorite part is like storytelling, those actual stories.
And just by using the word storytelling, I know that you're a good content marketer because it isn't about keywords. Keywords are part of it. It isn't about being pretty, although having a pretty site is part of it, but it is about telling those stories and getting the content where it connects with people. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I love about WP Coffee Talk. I get to introduce people like you, some other people, and then this wonderful happen, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Well, I'm going to move to the rapid fire questions.
Ooh, okay.
I ask rapidly. Take as much time as you need to answer them, though. Okay.
Okay.
So the first question is, what are 2 or 3 plugins that you would recommend somebody who might be building their first website or just getting started in the business?
Ooh, top of my head, I would say Jetpack for sure. WordFence is a good one, I think, for security. And then, I don't know, if you're running a blog, maybe like a Kismet, or if you're doing an e-commerce store, I'd say WooCommerce.
Yeah, those are actually really good ones. A Kismet is great too because you can cut down on that spam.
Yes. I as a blogger, it gets really annoying. So I think it's it's my first. Yeah.
And I think most hosts install that with your WordPress.
Yeah, I think that do. Yeah.
That and Hello Dolly.
Yeah. That's
the holdover one.
Yeah.
Like, what's the first thing you do when you install a new WordPress site? Disable Hello Dolly.
I love it.
You asked that question online, and that's the answer you're going to get from.
Oh my God, that's so good.
At any point in your WordPress journey,
Mm-hmm.
when starting out, recently at your job, anything like that, have you had a mentor, whether it was an official mentorship or just kind of somebody that took you under their wing, and who was it?
Oh, outside of my company, I would say Raquel probably did an awesome job of making me feel super comfortable and trying to that was my first camp. So I think Phoenix Phoenix has a special place in my heart just because they were super inclusive and super, like their whole team, like for the last few years have just been amazing people. And I think they've always just made me feel like super comfortable and you have a place here and let's get you talking and let's get you doing this. And so I think I have to go with like, if I have to pick one person, I'd pick Raquel, but if I could pick the whole team, I'd pick all of the organizers for like the past 3 years.
Awesome. And for anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about, Raquel Landefeld.
Yeah, sorry.
I just occurred to me too. We're just, we're name dropping without actually giving the whole name.
I'm so sorry. I gave Joe's whole name, Joe Simpson, but sorry.
That's because we both know Raquel. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And yeah, so that's awesome. I love that. So she's been somebody who, and their whole team has been somebody who's been a good guide for you.
Yeah, I think they've been really, really great people, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take them off the table for a minute. And who's somebody else in the WordPress community that you admire and why?
I'd say Mike Hanson. And he's actually part of our team. He runs our core developers, but I think he like has taught me so much about WordPress that I didn't know. I think he's like, I love to watch him lead his team. He's such a honest and he has such integrity. And I think like seeing him lead this team of amazing guys, like they're all really amazing people. I think it's just like been kind of inspiring. He kind of keeps me going just to watch like how hard he works and he just keeps going. He always has a smile on his face. So I'd have to pick Mike. I'm sorry. Like you're asking me really quick. These are rapid fire. So I'm like, first person pops in my head is Mike Hanson.
I'm sorry, everybody else, but Mike is the one on top.
Yeah, Mike's got to win. He's got a place. He's got a place right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope he hears the episode so he knows that.
I'll make sure he hears it.
What's something in WordPress that you'd like to learn but you haven't tackled yet?
JavaScript.
Oh, you and me to both. I mean, that's PHP, JavaScript, yeah.
I feel like I would love to learn it a little bit more. I just don't. I haven't had the time.
Really?
Yeah, and so that would be my goal. I think over the next few years, it's just a little bit at a time. I'm okay with that. I don't need to be like a pro in it. I don't want to like necessarily have to build sites or anything. I think I just would like to be more well versed and be able to like customize my own blocks a little bit better and stuff like that. So that's mine. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're not alone. That's one of the things on my list as well. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm figuring someday I'm gonna probably go on lynda.com and just like figure it out.
Yeah. I might have to do that. Maybe we'll do it together. Like we'll keep each other accountable next
There you
year.
go, accountability buddies. I love it.
Yeah.
that would be good to have somebody that's like, have you done it yet?
Yeah. Do lesson 1 this week and talk to me about it.
That's right. Then we're gonna powwow.
I like it.
That's awesome. What is one of the biggest WordPress mistakes you've ever made, and what did you learn from it?
Ooh, mistakes. I don't even think oh man, I don't even know.
Well, that's a good thing. I've had one person, his episode isn't out yet. I don't know if you know Chris Wegman.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Chris took down over 20,000 sites in one fell swoop, and it took a day or two to get them back. So that was bigger than my white screen of death.
Yeah, I guess because I'm not a developer, like everything I do is easily fixed because it's like on the back end and it's all like content related generally. I don't think I've had any like huge mistakes in WordPress.
But what you just said is actually really a good point though, is no matter what you've done with WordPress, it's easily fixed.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Backups, and you've got, and I'm guessing Bluehost is backing things up too. I know most of the hosts are doing that. I back everything up myself as well. Have a copy of the site.
For sure, suggest that.
I mean, that's just a good steward of a site is doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you've never done anything that
I'm like
undoable.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken our site down, not that I know of at least.
That's right.
If so, no one will ever know. It'll never see the light of day.
That's right. That's right. What's your proudest WordPress moment?
The first time I spoke, I think. It wasn't the first time I ever spoke in public. I think it was more so the fact that that intruder, what's it called? The intruder mentality. Imposter syndrome. Yeah. There was that imposter syndrome that kind of popped up where I'm like, these people all know code and I don't, and I don't belong here, but I'm going to do it anyways. Like my whole thing is if I'm scared of it, I'm going to try to run as close to it as I can, because I don't really like fear. And so I think that kind of like pushed me past a lot of things. And I think it made a lot of people more comfortable with me. And I think I got to know a lot more people from the different talks. I spoke on like the Women in WordPress panel in LA last year, and I really enjoyed that because I got to meet some really cool people, and we had a lot of conversations about, learning to say no and boundaries and picking the right clients and stuff like that. So I think just speaking in general at camps has been like my proudest moments.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know that I remember the feeling of getting selected for my first talk and
Yeah.
like the elation
Yeah.
and then the immediate like, oh my God, what have I
I have to
done?
do it.
And
To be
exactly
honest,
that. I'm possibly like, I'm gonna sit on the stage and there are
yeah.
people that are gonna be like, that's not how it works.
And
What
if
are you saying?
yeah, it will happen. Absolutely. There's always someone who thinks they know more. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. In some cases that could be right. In some cases, what I'm
Yep.
saying could be right. There's not a forever right answer. There's not an always right answer. So,
Yeah.
but
I
you
always
did
say,
it.
thank you for your opinion.
Yeah.
Moving
I
right along to people
yeah.
who like me. No.
That's great.
I'm gonna be 51 in like a month and a half, and I have lost my fear on most
Yeah.
things. It's just like, that
There's no
fun.
point.
Yeah, no, there's no point in it either. I mean, I'm afraid of snakes.
I have an irrational fear of them. It's not even funny. Like they've considered hypnosis, to be honest. Like it's a real bad thing for me. But other than that, every other fear I run towards. But
Yeah, exactly, because that's the only way to confront it. I'm a big fan of stepping outside the comfort zone. It sounds
yeah,
like you are.
absolutely.
I love
Only
it.
magical things can happen outside of there. So awesome.
If you weren't working in web technology, the web space at all, what's another career that you might like to attempt?
I've always wanted to own a restaurant, which is
Cool.
really random. But I guess like the most natural one would be photography, like which I'm already doing, but I guess I'd be doing it more full time and maybe like travel photography
Yeah.
versus like weddings. So I guess I would say that, yeah.
Okay, but if you did the restaurant, what kind of food would you serve? Because now I'm curious, and I'm also hungry.
It would more than likely be like a Creole, like kind of Southern Creole fusion type thing. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really hungry. That sounds delicious. Although I add sour cream to everything because I don't like it
Oh
hot.
no! You gotta let the spice live and be free. You got sour cream actually is a really good like equalizer. It kind of tames the heat. Any dairy really kind of tames heat, but yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good.
Thank you.
What's something on your bucket list?
Um, I would say cage diving with sharks in South Africa.
Okay, that was oddly specific, and I absolutely adore it. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had
It's been on my
several
bucket
people.
list for a long time. Yeah.
I've had several people want to jump out of planes. When I asked this question, I've had other people. It's all about travel and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You were the first shark cage. What did you say? Say it
Cage
again.
diving with great whites in South Africa.
Okay, that. Yeah.
That's so
I
funny.
will wait on the boat and welcome you back.
Hey, if you're scared of it, you have to go outside of your comfort zone. It's our rule now. It's a rule.
Well, if you ever get around to doing it, and I have the budget to go with, let's do it.
Let's talk about it.
But I will never jump out of a plane. Okay.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like that's a little scarier to me than cage diving. It's really weird that even makes sense in my head, but I'm going with it.
I feel the possibility of getting eaten by a shark is a lot less than my parachute failing and like hitting the ground at like 700 miles per hour.
That's actually very true. Statistics are on your side with this one.
I'm also making numbers up. I have no idea how fast you fall from the sky.
I feel like it'd be pretty fast. And also I think statistically it's less likely to get eaten by a shark. So
Yeah, probably true.
let's go with that.
Even Shark Week. I love Shark Week, but anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorite questions now. This is the second to last one. Look at this. We're almost done.
Wow.
Show us or tell us about one of your hidden talents. Something that maybe the WordPress community doesn't know that you do.
Oh man, a hidden talent. other than binge watching true crime series, I'm trying to think like, I don't know.
That's actually a guilty pleasure, not a hidden talent.
I know, but I feel like I could do it for hours and that has to be a talent. Like, it's a skill. It's a real life skill here. Okay, let me think. I guess, I guess everybody would know that though, like karaoke. I don't know, like
I didn't
karaoke.
know.
I mean, but I guess I've done it before. Actually, funny story. At Orange County last year, WordCamp, I sang karaoke at their after party, and I had 3 of our guys be my backup dancers, and they were on stage backup dancing with me while I was singing lead, and they were amazing. And then they started singing, and it all went downhill real fast. Someone hit the mic.
This is the difference between like my age level and the way I think. Like
Yeah.
you say, I see a woman with guys as the backup dancers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Gladys Hips.
See? That's what I said.
Most people are like, Jennifer Lopez and the guy dancer. And I'm like, that
No.
immediately went to the 70s.
That's literally, I think, what I told them. I was like, hey, it's me and the Pips. We're here. Like, we're doing it. I'm a little bit of an old soul, though. So, like, my music choices are. Yeah.
Are you going to WordCamp US? Because if you are, we'll have to do karaoke together.
I am 99% chance that I'll be there.
Awesome.
So I will absolutely come and find you and we will do karaoke.
I love it because I'm a singer. I studied voice in college too. So
look at this. Photography, singing, WordPress. Like, what else do we have in common?
I don't know. You're like my long daughter. I have a daughter that actually looks a lot like you too. So
really? And we have the same name.
I know. Wait, what's your middle name?
Yvette.
Okay, mine's Marie. Okay. So
my sister's middle name is Marie.
There's just a little too much crossover. We're gonna be friends for life. I just know it.
It's getting weird. I love it.
So tell us, how can people find you
online? I am on Twitter mainly at Machielle Thomas, Machiellethomas.
Awesome.
Easiest way to find me.
Are you also like one of the people that runs the Bluehost?
At times, so I did. We actually have a really amazing social media manager that does that now. But I'm still like signed into them, so I still see messages. And if I'm out somewhere that she's not, sometimes I'll post. But yeah, we try to make it a team effort, but she manages it. Yeah. She's good at it.
Same for us. It's like I have to log in, and if I'm somewhere where they aren't, I can take pictures and post.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's hands off.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I know how to stay in my lane. I'm good at the content. She's really good at social. So we try to stay.
Do you have a personal blog? I know Bluehost.com is like your, oh no.
I'm so ashamed. I have like 15 domains and like 5 blogs that I haven't updated in forever. So I really don't want to say them.
But I'm going to tell you mine. So I've got lots of websites as well. Okay. I've got domains that are not published or that are, I collect them.
Same.
Someday they will be antique domains because I will have had them that long. I don't know if that's such a thing.
We're going to make it a thing.
Somebody's going to go antiquing. They'll be like, honey, I found this old domain.
It's so good.
But honestly, so, I have my Works by Machielle. That's, I used to have a different business and I closed that business but I'm like, I still have to have a place on the web that's me,
I agree. Yeah.
And we have WPCoffeeTalk.com and that kind of thing. But my old blog, and you can look this up later and you can laugh as much as you'd like, is thedailybedhead.com.
I like that name. It's catchy.
And so it doesn't have a lot of posts on it because I don't have a lot of time to contribute to it. But when I post, I take a picture of what my hair looks like in the morning.
So good.
And so for every picture, you can click any picture on there and it'll open up a little musing about my life. There's one called In the Land of Stooges, I'd Be Larry.
Oh my God.
There's another one on why I don't play bingo.
Why you don't play bingo?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Those little old ladies are brutal.
They are serious about it. It's a sport.
Yeah.
It's a sport.
Absolutely. So so there's, so take a look at it if you want to see what I look like when I wake up. It started because I posted a picture of myself in the morning. I walked in the bathroom. I was like, oh, I look like the flock of seagulls, that old like 80s hairstyle. And so I just took a picture. I'm like, I posted on Facebook. I'm like, does this hairstyle mean I could be in the flock of seagulls? And everybody started commenting under it, oh, you're so brave. And I was like, it's hair. What's brave about hair? You know, if you can't be real. And then so like the tagline is, it doesn't get any more real than bedhead.
Yeah, that's actually true. Like, this is literally how you wake up. I think it's because we're in a society where everything is so curated online, and people are showing the best versions of themselves. And so I think it's really cool. I like that idea.
Well,
I
the best version of myself is the authentic self, and so that's why
Yeah,
for me it's the bedhead. But
that's why it should be that. But everybody doesn't think that way. You know what? You've inspired me to like go and start writing again for myself.
good.
I'm gonna try to get it together, and by the time this publishes, maybe like we'll have something. Like, I'll have something to talk about.
We'll have to connect on Slack, and we'll be
Yeah.
accountability. I'll start writing more on my blog
Yes.
too.
Please do that.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
That would be. Anything else you'd like to share before we sign off for the day?
No, I really appreciate you having me. It's been fun. I enjoyed this.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I am so grateful that you were here, and I don't think I've laughed this hard in a really long time. So this has been wonderful. I feel like I have a sister out in the WordPress world. A lot of WordPress sisters, and I don't mean that in like the soul kind of way.
No,
but,
I know. I know what you meant.
well, you say that now, and you get lambasted on Twitter, like, "Girl, you are
Oh,
appropriating."
no.
So no, but I have brothers and sisters in the WordPress world,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to have you as one of them now too.
Thank you. We'll have to hang out a little bit more.
I would
So,
love that.
St. Louis it is. Like, that's when it's going to happen.
That's our time. We're gonna sing, and we're gonna show the world how it's done.
I'm excited.
Maybe we'll find a good Whitney Houston song, because I love to open up on those top notes.
That's what I sang in Orange County. I Want to Dance with Somebody was the song I sang.
Oh, okay. We're totally gonna do this. All right. We'll be in touch very soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for being here today, Machielle. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to building our friendship even more.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
WP Coffee Talk with Machielle Frechette is a proud supporter of WP and Up, whose mission is to support and promote positive mental health within the WordPress community. Visit their website at wpandup.org.